Hey, that thing is still on the screen. I don't know. Okay, so I'm fairly sure everything should be fine. We'll find out when I'm editing this, to be honest. But I kind of want to shout really loud and see if that's what it is, because it shows me something on the screen, basically. So we'll see if anyone can help me out with this. So when I'm looking at my camera, the little screen that's on my actual camera, I've got a little box in the middle of my screen here that has like a sound wave thingy. So like it shows you how like loud stuff is, I'm guessing. And it's like really extreme on one side, even when I'm not making any noise. So I have no idea what it is, and it's going to really annoy me it being there, because it's kind of exactly where my face is. I mean, I suppose I'm slightly off to the side, and I'm not really going to be looking at the camera much. But anyway, we're back. It's been a little while. Been away for a while. Thought this was going to be even longer term, because I thought my camera was broken, because I couldn't take any photos or videos or anything. I assumed it was my lens that was broken. Nope, lens is all good. It was a problem with my shutter, which I managed to fix myself by just shoving it back into place and holding it all the way down. So we'll see how long that lasts and works for. But other than that, if the camera does eventually stop working, we're probably not going to have any more videos unless I buy a stand for my iPhone and film on my iPhone, which is probably what I'd end up doing. But basically, we wouldn't have any videos for a while, even longer than this little break, which I think has only been like, I say a week or two. But on some of my thingies, I've got like 3 videos to catch up on. But that would mean that I've not made videos and not recorded for 3 weeks. Which I suppose is possible because I had a staph infection out here in Thailand. So it's where like happens loads when you're training. Oh well, no, it doesn't happen loads when you're training. It's just something that's very common to happen to you when you're training, and it's like an infection of the skin. It gets into like a little cut or a little or something where like there's an open sore on the skin somewhere, and it will just destroy you. Like I was, so I've just started getting back into training this week because I've just got back from the holiday I went on. Right after I had staph, so I hadn't been training for like 2 weeks, and I assumed, taking 2 weeks out, you're gonna take a bit of a hit. You're not gonna be doing as well, but I mean, you get back into things pretty quick. No, staph had completely destroyed my cardiovascular system, completely wiped it out, and then spending a week partying straight after having staph probably didn't help at all. If anything, probably took it the complete opposite way. So yeah, so for me, not feeling like shit, feeling fine, but just everything on the inside not working at 100%, or not back up to 100% at the moment. But nevertheless, we're back, we're filming, we're good. As far as I'm aware, everything with the camera is good. I thought it was broken, I went to go get it fixed today. Didn't need to do that in the end. Well, I still think I might do, but they said it's going to take like 2 months. Like they send it off and it comes back in 2 months. So there's no way I'm doing that, because by the time I finish that, I'll be in a different country. Because my Thai visa runs out at the start of April, but I'm renewing it for another 45 days. So more likely the end of May. Even still, I don't really want to be cutting it that short. I'd rather just do something with my phone instead, and then get back to filming with the camera when I'm able to fix it. But hopefully that's not needed, and this all goes well, which we will find out very soon. Other than that though, we're back with One Piece, which is back on as well. So we're watching 10:54, I think this one is, yeah, 10:54, because I remember the last one was 10:53. So I say fuck it, let's just get straight into it. Audio should be fine, should be. Keep in mind I'm saying should, not will be. So I'm only saying that because of what I'm seeing on my screen at the moment. It's making me think that one of the mics, or if there's more than one mic, because I'm fairly sure it does dual audio. So like if you had headphones in and you were speaking to one side, you hear through that side instead of that side, as far as I'm aware. But I may be wrong on that as well, and it may just be that the individual mic is messed up and you guys are not going to have a fun time listening to this. But we'll find out. We'll find out after this. Hopefully I don't have to re-react to this episode, because that's always shit. You know, the reaction is then kind of like fake and like forced and like repetitive compared to what you've like just said earlier, and you feel like you're just repeating yourself. Anyway, enough of me ranting. I need to be able to cut these short because we've gone 5 minutes already, and we've not done anything really. So let's get into it. 3, 2, 1. Here we are, back with One Piece and kicking it off with a bang. Whoa. I don't know if I said whoa there, like I haven't seen this. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, no, I have seen this. Not fairly sure. I have seen this. Oh. Forgive me for if I'm a bit tired and not doing a ton of commentary. It's only because I've been running around all day, so I've kind of a little bit drained. I'm quite interested to see how long Wano has been going on, because for me, Wano feels like the longest arc by far, but that's only because, well, maybe not just Wano. Wano is one of the only One Piece is Wano is one of the only arcs I've watched as it's been coming out, like entirely. I can't remember what was before Wano. It was Zoe. Was it not Zoe? And then it was the Big Mom and stuff. I can't even remember anymore. My brain is just broken. But yeah, no. So Wano's felt very long for me in comparison to the others, because I binge watched the first bit of One Piece, like heavily, like the good first, like I think like it was like mid 700s episodes at that point, maybe into the low 8s, and I binge watched all of that in a couple months, and then I've just been watching it. I stopped watching it for a little bit, like some more episodes come out, then I binge watched them. And then it was the arc before Wano that I started watching it as it came out. The people that end up just laughing off having a smile, they don't have any powers, do they? Like the gifters are the ones with the powers, and they don't have any laughing traits. And then what are they called? You've got gifters, you've got trying to think of what name they were called. They were called something like it, like fitting like the gifters. There's something else. And they had the numbers. I'm trying to remember what they were called again. But I have no idea. Oh, wait. It's just like one or the other, isn't it? So it's like if you're laughing, you've not got any abilities. If you've got abilities, you're not just laughing permanently. Oh wow, Hawkins is more of a dick than I thought. I thought he was shocked when he heard he ate a smile and was gonna be like, that's like fucked up. I didn't know they did that to you, kind of thing. But no, it's straight up just, ha, you ate a smile. That's just Killer's not gonna die here, surely. I mean, don't get me wrong. Out of like the worst generation that like we're like a part of, Killer's obviously the one we know the least about. And like we're the least involved in, because I mean we've got Law, we see Law all the time. Same with Kid, same with Zoro, obviously same with Luffy, and they're like kind of our worst generation. There's obviously others, but we don't see them as often. But I'd imagine if Hawkins didn't have this kind of like trick card up his sleeve, that Killer would be able to take out Hawkins fairly easily, because I mean we saw Killer on the roof. Killer was doing work on the roof with Zoro, with Law, with Kid, with Luffy, you know, doing work up there. Don't know who's directing this episode, if it's someone different to normal, because it looks a little different. I'm really liking the colour work of this episode. Like it's dark. It's red. Don't know what these are like. I don't know if there's like flames around them, and these are like embers in the air that I'm seeing, but I'm not sure. Yeah, embers from the fire. That's quite a cool detail. They didn't really have to add in, and it makes the scene a little more real. Yeah, true. I was gonna say like kill her, just fuck it, just beat the shit out of Hawkins, and I'm sure like you can. It won't kill Kid, but actually, if Kid's fighting Big Mom at the moment, he needs all the health he can get. So I'm not sure how he's gonna get around this. Wakey wakey. Gotta go on a run in like an hour as well, so don't know what I'm gonna do there. Okay, I get that he can't attack him, but I mean, surely at some point throughout all of this, when he found that out, he could have just like left and like just not fought him at all and gone to go help the Kid instead. Because I mean, surely that would be more useful right now than just getting beat up by Hawkins. But I suppose then if someone else came up against Hawkins and ended up fighting him, then Kid would still be hurt. Like, I have to admit, I think if Kid's gonna keep up with Law and Luffy, like, especially after this arc, well, less so much Luffy, because we know Luffy kind of goes a bit crazy at the end of this arc and kind of, like, jumps up in power. But I mean, I think if Kid is gonna be able to keep up with, like, Law and, like, current Luffy level, he's gonna have to have a bit of a power up at some point of some sort, because I don't see what that could be. Obviously, they can awaken certain fruits. I don't know if you can awaken all of them, or if it's only like Zoan or Paramecia or something like that. But I mean, if he kind of needs it soon. Because I mean, at this point, he's strong, but that's all he's got going for him. Like Law, in my opinion, is probably just as strong, has moves or like has attacks that can do just as much damage. But he's also really good at avoiding strikes, being a support kind of like I was about to say player, like as if he's in a game, but like a support character, being able to like help others move around and do stuff like with his room. It just seems so much more malleable compared to Kid's like abilities, which pretty much just seem like get a lot of metal, hit person with a lot of metal. I mean, like we saw him like make a cage around who was it? Was it Zeus earlier? Yeah, and that was different. We don't normally see him do stuff like that. As I said, the color work in this episode is really good. Well, it's different. Some bits of it I really like. Some bits of it I'm a bit meh. Like these bits on Big Mom where it goes all purple. I don't mind them. I'm trying to think about if I prefer when they have like the kind of like glow around them, like the Kaido shots, or if they when they make the whole scene like their color, like some of these Big Mom ones. I have to admit, I probably like the entire color scheme ones more. Because sometimes just the aura being a certain color kind of like makes it hard to see the detail of a character. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Hawkins at the moment. I'm guessing he's just like injuring himself on purpose in front of Killer at this point. Big Mom is such a goofy looking character. Can you see me messing with my hands? If you can, that just looks so dumb, probably. Don't know why I fiddle with stuff and I've got stuff on. Like, like a chain or like a bracelet. I don't know why. I just completely missed what's going on. Yeah, as I thought, Hawkins is just smacking his head against a wall, which is what I mean. I mean, like, if he's gonna be doing this, then just fuck it. Like, just one shot him to the point where they're both incapacitated. Or are you trying to say that like kids can't take as much damage as Hawkins, or Hawkins automatically takes? Well, no, I suppose Hawkins doesn't take any of the damage. It just gets passed on to whoever he uses, I guess. How does he set it up as well? Like, surely there has to be like a setup to it. He can't just go, right, I'm gonna give my damage to this guy, because then he could just fight anyone and just swap the damage to them as he's fighting. So there's got to be like some kind of rule to it, which is probably how Killer's gonna end up winning. And I have to admit, I'll be a little disappointed if we just see them this whole episode. I kind of want to see a little bit of Luffy, Zoro, and everyone. Because I mean, I've not seen them in a while. Or at least I haven't. Yeah, this is a pretty dope scene from Kid. It's interesting to see from Kid as well, because you don't really like, he's kind of like even more than like Law, he's kind of like a cold character, so you don't really see him like show that he cares very often. I mean, is there no way to restrain Hawkins? Like, surely you could have just hit him once or twice as much as he hit himself and restrained him. That's what I mean. The story is only perfect when there's no way around the story. Like, the story had to go down this path. When there's like other options there, I always get less enjoyment out of it. I have to admit, not to knock on Attack on Titan, because I actually am really enjoying what's happening, but they do it quite often as well. They have like, but I think with Attack on Titan, it's like there's like more reasons behind it. Like, there's not just one path or the other path because there's just one or two. It's because of like there's loads to it. I'll speak about that kind of stuff in an Attack on Titan video, because that's got a lot of information behind it that I think is playing a part in that. Whereas this is just like it's because the character hasn't thought of that as an idea, which always frustrates me, because I mean, you know, it's life and death. You'll think of almost everything in this situation. Like, almost everything possible probably come to you whilst you're going through the situation. I wish they'd reanimated this, because this is a really cool scene to see in the old animation. It was like so well animated. Like the way the smoke moved around Kaido's hands and stuff, dope. But now they're giving us a flashback of it. I would have liked to see it reanimated. Would have been very cool to see. And actually, in this, it shows Kaido being way bigger. Because I think when Luffy fights Kaido, I think he's like probably like a quarter of his size. But I mean, in that flashback, like, Kid looks like he's like up to his like ankles, or is like if that, he looks tiny compared to Kaido. And he's not even in his hybrid form there, which he might be bigger in. Or he might change size a little bit. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, this episode isn't bad. I'm enjoying it. I don't know why I prefix or like preface. Like, I don't know why I say that before I say something, because then it makes it sound like I am saying the episode's bad. I'm really not. Ignore that I said that completely. My only complaint about with this episode is when they do an entire episode on one part of the storyline and they don't like splice in what's happening with other people, I get bored. Like, I know other people complain about it when it's like it goes from one scene to another scene to another scene to another scene, and it's all just different people, and it's not like a continuous story through the episodes. But I don't love this. I love seeing everything that's going on. I like it when One Piece does that, and they do it really well, because they show you this fight, they show you like this other fight, then this other fight, then this other fight, and they kind of put it all together in a way that it's like it's really good paced. Whereas when it's just one thing throughout, I feel like the dialogue gets to you a little bit. You start to, like, as I said, you start to sit here and start to think, well, why don't they do that? Well, why don't they do that? And then you start to like almost piece apart. The animation is beautiful right now, though. You start to like pick apart the story a little bit. This is animated really, really well for just like a standard fight. Whose arm is that? Did he just cut off Kid's arm then, basically? Jesus, the animation on this is really good though. I've said that like 3 times in the last 30 seconds, but it's good. He doesn't have a left arm. Oh my god, that's so dumb of me, and that's so smart of Killer. Bro, I didn't even fucking think of that. My man doesn't even have a left arm, so he can just fuck up his left arm. Let's go, Killer. I need to shut the fuck up, because One Piece always does this. It drags like a tiny bit, and then it comes with a bang. It just comes straight back with some awesome animation and some sick action. Damn, that was dope. That was really good. I should have shut up, and I would have enjoyed that way more. I'm annoyed at myself now. That was a really good scene and really well played out and smart and something I didn't even think of, which then makes the story better. See, okay, this is not a complaint. It's not a complaint, but I think they could have done. Damn, Killer really has some cool moves. I think they could have done more with Hawkins' cards, because it seems like every time he either uses the same card or like other cards, they look the same, but they have different abilities. Like one's really fast, one's strong, or something like along those lines. But I think they could have made it so cool. They could have given like each card like a vastly different straw design, and that would have been so cool. Because the big straw man that like Hawkins turns into or like has above him looks really cool. What does the tower mean? Dude's just missing an arm. Killer is so clean with it. Like, this is what I mean about earlier when I said, like, if that shit's not, like, worrying Killer, Killer's cleaning Hawkins out easy. Easy. It's not even, it's not even hard at this point. Like, every attack hits. Every attack hits clean. But Hawkins is one of those characters that's kind of like, you never know if he has something else up his sleeve, because he's just like, yeah, he's a tricky character to deal with. But it seems like Killer's done him in, hopefully for the final time here. The Chower, I'm guessing that meant that he was going for his head. Maybe. This is the little title card that we got. Kid about to pop off with Mum now. Yeah, so like even though it was only like he was like wasn't giving like tons of damage to Kid, I feel like when Hawkins has you under that kind of like power, it like really drains on you. Like it's like a constant small drain, and then like big attacks are a bigger drain. Because it seems like he's sweet now. Don't get back up. Please tell me Hawkins isn't about to get back up. Bang! Great episode. I should have shut up. Started to try and complain halfway through. I shouldn't have said a word. That was fantastic. That was great. I say that. It wasn't perfect. It did drag a little bit towards like the middle third. The dialogue started to get to me because we were like, we'd seen it for the first half of the episode, and I was like, oh, the second half of the episode is just going to be the same shit, you know? For a second I thought it stopped recording, and I was about to go, no! But no, luckily it hasn't. But yeah, no, honestly, really good episode. I really enjoyed that one. That one was kind of dope. That was kind of clean, kind of dope, sweet. Not much to say other than that middle part, less dialogue, maybe chuck in one or two other scenes of stuff that's going on elsewhere on Wano. Nothing massive, nothing crazy, just short ones. Maybe before and after the middle, like kind of middle card, like the bit that they split up for adverts. But other than that, dope. Killer, clean as per usual. I mean, there's not really much to say. Killer's slowly becoming one of my like more favorite characters, just because every time they put a scene on with him, they make him look so cool, like really, really, really good. So so yeah, that's about that on that. We'll cut this video off here. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit less than a week, like 5 days. Peace.